I'm terribly sorry. I should have told you that that would be stupidly loud.
Yeah, that was
That
pretty loud, Mo.
was dumb loud. I didn't realize until I saw you. Oh, by the way, this is Mo Crosby and Roy. We're back on a Friday to talk about Andor. Yeah, because Mo is super inconsistent and I can't get my shit together. No, but no. Thank you, Roy, for hanging out with me on this Friday. Really appreciate
Always.
it. I feel like I haven't seen you since we did Game of Thrones this week, right?
We did on Monday, yeah.
And it's Friday. That's
This has been an infinitely long week, my friend.
no,
So
honestly. So yeah, I 100% agree. So the heist happened,
it did. It did happen.
and we had theories.
We did. I think we were relatively close, but
Relatively close.
I was not quite expecting a
I
couple of the
wasn't.
deaths, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of the deaths, a lot of things were twisty too. It wasn't as straightforward as I thought it was gonna be. So I think the first question here is: so episode ended because just as Andor ends, it just
Excuse me.
ends, right?
It just ends, yeah. I mean,
How
this
did
had a more natural conclusion, similar to the
right.
previous like 3 episode arc.
Right. How did you feel once it was over?
I enjoyed it. I felt it was a really well executed episode that paid off most of its setup. We didn't get any of the cop right in this episode.
No,
Unless I missed them. So it was focused mostly on Andor and then like a couple of the rebels supporting stuff. And I felt it paid off. Like I thought the heist was well done. If maybe the episode was like a little pace slow and made like a few choices that's like a little for the capital A art thing that I'm just like, okay, like I get what you're trying to do here. You're trying to give me theme with a capital T.
right.
Uh which felt a little heavy-handed, but I think overall this was good. I actually didn't think it was as good as the original third episode, like finale,
Right. The escape.
but yeah, the escape and the caper, which I felt like even more. Why is my camera blinking? That's weird. Um, paid that stuff off even more, but I still think this was one of the best episodes of Andor.
Um 100% not like the third episode in that first arc, right? But it was 100% art. It was 100% um cinema. Like this is what it felt like. Um it was a little slow. Um things I feel certain things dragged when you could have just moved it along, but it didn't matter to the plot or not. But I will say I liked it. I liked it more than I thought I would, actually. Because I was like, coming into the episode, I'm like, what if they trick us, right? And they don't give us like a full payout. But they did. It paid off. It went where it went where it wanted to go. It took the characters where it wanted to take them, and it left off at a natural conclusion for this arc. Now I want to see what comes next. I'm guessing Saw Gerrera at some point.
I would assume so, yeah.
He's in the trailer. Episode 6. So we have one more arc,
Is there
right?
2 more arcs? I feel like we do this every week. I think it's
Right.
12 episodes.
It's
I think
12. It
it's
is
12
12
episodes.
episodes. Yes.
All right, give me a second.
Okay.
Andor episode count. Wow, it's in my Google like history that I've Googled this
How much you do it,
times.
right?
There are 12 episodes. Okay, so there are
So
two
we have
more
2 more.
arcs. So
So
there's so that means there's probably 24 arcs because there's another 12 episode second season coming.
Yeah. So let's talk characters.
Okay.
Obviously some of the characters that we definitely called were gonna died.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see? Okay, I'll start at the end. Did you see what's his name? The guy with the brother. Did you see that?
Oh, the final twist with him? I didn't really necessarily see that. Although I think they did set it up, right? Because the initial connection that he makes is that they both are from that like prison, I guess. Was that what they were?
Yeah.
Was that what an episode was it the first one with Andor? It might have been the second. With the first one with the heist or the second one with the heist. But
it could have been I think it was because they had like a conversation and seemed like everything was going to be cool. I think it was the second episode, and then he snatches the cap off his neck.
Yeah, so I think that was like, I get they set that up in a way that was, I think, a little bit more subtle than some of the other like foreshadowing that they've done in this show. So I didn't see it coming. Once it happened, I was like, oh, okay. So because it also played in the theme of like no one is telling the truth except for that one dude, that one kid.
Yeah, the true believer.
Right, yeah, the true believer. And maybe the leader woman.
I would also venture to say the ex stormtrooper guy.
Yeah, I did not expect him to get whacked. I didn't expect, if we're gonna be completely honest, both of the black guys to die in this episode.
No, they really went there.
They really did.
But they say the I don't
South Asian woman.
Yeah, the Asian woman. They left. She made it, which I honestly didn't think, because was no one ever survived after you say these words. Are you going to be all right? Or tell me you're going to be all right. Like, no one ever survives those words, right? Like, if we just think of all our tropes.
Yeah, no, you're exactly correct. I think.
Right. So as soon as I heard those words, I was like, oh yeah, she's gone. So I'm watching the episode, like doing my like counter. I'm like, okay, so this person is definitely gonna die. And so this is the one thing that kind of bothered me. I think it was the only thing that bothered me, right? They spent the episode prior, when they were doing the march, talking about how to point the guns all outward. So, and then this entire time they're marching, their guns are clanking. I think it was one time they were trying to turn, and it clanked. And I was like, okay, is no one gonna, is like, because everyone kept looking at them. I'm like, oh, they're gonna catch them, right? And I'm like, they're caught. Like, but no, somehow that just slid through. Do you think it was a mistake in filming, and they just left it to mess with us?
I mean, I don't necessarily think so. I think it was just that, like, the Empire isn't as precision-y as you would have thought, right? Like, nothing about, like, the only competent Imperial in this entire episode is the dude who, like, figures out the radios thing, right? Like,
yes.
Most of the other Imperials are just, like, incompetent, right?
Yes,
or like normal, right? There's no, like, the Empire is hyper competent and you have to, like, super trick them in order to pull this off. It's more like, it's kind of what Andor said. Did he say it? Or did he just say it in the trailer? Where you, like, no, I think he said it in the third episode, where he's like, all you have to do is, like, walk in there and like you belong there.
Because he was asking how he got the box. Yeah, just walk in like you belong there. So I thought that was super funny. And I honestly thought it was a mistake, but now that you've explained that, I thought it was a mistake by, during filming, and like, what, let's see. And then they left it, and then said, let's see who's gonna notice. I was like,
I didn't really notice that much, but I could see that that's kind of what their argument is, or the explanation, if you wanted the no prize to explain it.
Right. Because if they did like like the Game of Thrones thing, they'd be like, yeah, we shot that and we just wanted to see, like.
Oh, you're talking about the coffee cup thing? Oh my God.
Yes, that thing.
Oh my God. It was more like we shot it and it was the best take and we didn't realize the coffee cup was there until it was too late. We're not going back to spend the money. They could have just said that. Like, but no.
Right. But like I said, that was really the only thing that bothered me. Outside of that, I thought the episode was pretty good. It was shot really well. I did hate that the black guy who's in this because they killed his local girlfriend. I hate that he had to go the way he went.
I expected him to die. I thought that the ex-stormtrooper would survive. I was like, the lieutenant is dead. Like, whatever.
And most likely he was going to get captured.
I can see that.
Yeah, and then he'd be the. Okay, so now, and do you know the only other thing that kind of bothered me about this? It's really trivial. It's stupidly trivial. This is how nonsensical. Like, it's so nonsensical. I don't even want to say it now. I thought about it. I'm like, do they not have security cameras?
Oh, I'm sure they do, and I'm sure what will happen is the Imperial spy people are gonna come like they're gonna see Andor, and then
Mhm.
they're gonna be like, oh, he's the same person as this thing, and then they're
Right.
gonna go looking for the cop guy, and the cop guy is gonna help them try to catch Andor.
Okay. Okay. Because I'm like, there's no way, right? Shouldn't his face be plastered? But I think because it's so he hasn't really done anything.
Yeah, I
He's
mean,
not
what he
really
did before was like not that big of a deal. That
yeah.
like the cop guy is what turned it into such a huge deal.
Yeah, put him on the map, yeah. Um
Like everyone was literally telling that cop, like, none of
just
this
like
matters. Like, what are you doing, bro? And then he was like, nah, I'm gonna make a big deal out of this.
right. And I'm gonna fuck up a whole planet and I'm gonna lose my job and I'm gonna get everybody fired and I'm gonna go home and live with my mom and get
Mm-hmm.
smacked in the face. Um what else interesting happened? Okay, okay,
So
so
did you like what did you think of that this episode, like what's the term I'm gonna what's the best way to phrase this? Let the rebels be terrorists? Like they were threatening a teenager and the guy's wife,
mm,
and like
mm.
this was not like Han Solo and Luke like
No,
having
it
fun
wasn't
breaking
cute.
into the
Yeah, it
Empire.
wasn't cutie. It wasn't cute like say like the Rebels show. It wasn't cute. It's not that. This is the underbelly of the rebellion. This is like the grittier. It's like Zack Snyder's take on the Rebels, but
No, it's
no,
Zack Snyder's take. They would have shot that kid in the face. All
oh,
right, like come on, come on.
oof. But no, I thought it might have. Like I said, I'm watching the episode and the dad is like, "Yeah, my son has to be there." I'm like, you could have made that decision and not had him there because it's tough, right? It's really tough to be a dad in that situation and watch a gun to
Mm-hmm.
your family's head. No, when he was begging the praetor, whatever his name was, he was begging him like, "Yo, put your gun down." Like, dude, just put your gun down. My family's here. Like, what are you trying to prove? But no, the rebels in this episode are not. They're not. They're not our rebels. They're not the rebels we've known. They are horrible people, and they will
Yeah,
do whatever they have to do to get the job done, including threatening a teenager.
yeah. Threatening a teenager, threatening his mom, who just like I think they do a good job of something that is like real in real life, right? Which is that
Mhm.
oppressive like institutions have like normal people that work for them, right? So I think that was a very like kind of like subtle thing in this episode, which is like you are cheering for Andor, and
Mhm.
Andor is on the right side of things, right? Like all of these people are working for like a literal evil empire,
Right.
but they are also still human beings, right? Like
Correct.
that dad is shitty and his wife is like grasping and wants to get out of the shithole that they're currently stationed in, and their son is
Mhm.
bratty, which is just like they're but it's like they are the
Normal people
banality
stuff.
of evil, right? If we're gonna go
Right.
with the Hana term.
Yeah. Normal people stuff. Like, and then the one guy, the super cop, right? The super, like, just I saw his face. They were like, get up, help us load the truck, and we're just gonna leave. And the camera does something anytime they linger on that one guy's face. You
Mm-hmm.
just know he's gonna be like trouble.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely gonna die. He dies. Um, but
You're talking
no,
about the guy who like tried to beat up Andor?
yes,
Yeah.
bro. What did you think was gonna happen?
I
I've,
mean,
I've
he thought he could overpower them and save the billions of dollars to be the hero.
right. Like they have insurance.
You're gonna die. Well, part of these oppressive systems is convincing people to die for nothing.
No, seriously. I'm like, yo, they got insurance. Like this is like telling the Walmart guy that if he stops the guy that's taking the TV out that did rung up a TV as a hot pocket, that you're gonna get a promotion. No, you're not.
No, I mean, well, it's the same thing as like you're a bank teller, right? Like, do you
Mhm.
want to die for some billionaire's money? Like
Bro,
that's like
they have purple dye in there. They can't
it's
get
just like
that
it's not your money. The guy has a gun. It's on the camera. They know you're not stealing it. Like, all right, take what you want.
right. Like
Like, I am not dying over
the way I
some
would have
billionaire's
loaded
money.
that truck for them, Um, okay, so what did you think of the guy who came down from the tower, and what do you think of that? How they made that happen, right? Because the lieutenant is telling the guy, he's like, "Yo, tell him this is a security exercise. Let him know. Tell him right now."
Or the guy just dies of a heart attack.
Just-
I mean, that was definitely to me that was the biggest twist, because I thought he
right.
was gonna not do it at the last. He was gonna be like, "Oh, this is my chance to stop these guys," but no, he
Mhm.
just keels over. So, I mean, that's a lot, man. Because if you think your whole family's gonna die, and then it's like, okay, I've almost escaped. I've almost escaped. My whole life is falling apart, but at least my family survived. And then this asshole ruins everything by coming down with a bunch of stormtroopers,
Right.
and is like,
And now your chest hurts.
you're just dead there. Like,
Oh my god! Like you
uh,
were this close to going back to meet your family, file a police report.
get shot by the Emperor or whatever's gonna happen to
Right.
you, but your family would survive.
Right. I mean, your
Darth
family
Vader would
gets
chop off your head or whatever.
right because they're super evil, so it doesn't even matter. Um, so whether he dies here or he dies at the hand of the emperor,
But
I
his
actually
family probably wouldn't die. That
right,
Darth
just him,
Vader doesn't even notice the family. He's just gonna chop
right.
your head off. Be like, all right, cool.
So
Done.
now, okay, so lieutenant gets shot, right? Lieutenant is dead.
And then his
Ex
men,
ex
yeah, shoots
ex
the ex stormtrooper. Well, because
is
the ex
dead.
stormtrooper saves that one. Right. All right. So the ex stormtrooper, who is he saving? He's saving the leader, right?
Yes, I think he was covering her, or she was getting pinned down, and
Yeah,
he
and
comes
yeah,
out and he gets shot in the back, so he dies.
yeah, he just dies. Yeah, I was like, oh.
Unceremoniously too. It's like
Mm-hmm.
the worst kind
Both.
of death.
The lieutenant also just gets shot, and the camera doesn't even focus on him. He's just like,
You
boom,
don't even
dead.
care.
And
It's
it's
like
just like,
boom, right next.
I was like, oh, wow, okay, we're really doing this. All right.
Right. And to be fair, I thought True Believer was gonna die saving someone.
Well, he kind of did. He died
Well,
that way because he saved Andor.
yeah, and I think they also needed him. They didn't need him to die. They needed him to because he was the one that was gonna plot their way out of there. So you couldn't just kill him off, right?
Right, right, right,
You had
right.
to inject him with drugs, and even though he needed rest, you had to kill him that way. Um, what did you think of when Andor goes into the medical tent, the blue tent? No.
Oh, so okay. Well, I have a question for you, Mo.
All
Why
right.
do you think Andor shot that guy?
I think okay, so it's the same thing. When you brought up the prison thing,
Mm-hmm.
it came back to me. Okay, so Andor is someone who's always trying to Andor always is looking out for himself.
Mm-hmm.
It's either you or me. It's a quick draw thing, right?
Yeah.
It's the thing where Andor knows if he leaves this guy alive, he's not safe. So I
The
can't trust you.
the blonde lady's not gonna kill me and not give me
Yeah,
my money.
I take my chance with the blonde lady and whatever. But you've shown me like, especially when he's like, "What about your brother?" And it's like, "What brother?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, he's dead." Because it's if I was also the guy, I'd have my hand on my gun as well. Like, why would you? I thought it was going to be a cute little shootout, but it wasn't. It was just a straight quick draw situation.
I mean,
Um,
it's not quick draw. Andor just literally shoots him. Does the guy even go for his gun?
no, he doesn't go for his gun. Andor just bang, like
He's just
in his
like,
chest. And when Andor goes into the medical tent, this is what I wanted to ask: like, what did you think? Were you scared for the blonde lady?
no. I mean, obviously, I wasn't, because the thing is, that he's gonna become this all chief of espionage for
Right.
the rebellion, right?
Right.
So he's not gonna just murder this rebellion lady, right? What I was like, all right, it's like, is this the moment where he joins the rebellion? Like, it was was the reason why that he shot the guy was is he gonna stick with the rebellion either as a mercenary, or you know what I mean? And instead he's like, no, just give me what I was promised.
Yeah, I'm out.
I'm out. So that means we have to have like more excuses. I mean, they gave a literal like Deus Ex Machina of like how he's
Right.
gonna.
It's like here's his manifesto.
Here's the Communist Manifesto.
He
Like,
was pissed. I want it. He said with his dying breath.
like, and it's like, all right, I guess. Okay. Oh man, the
Right.
propaganda is gonna get me.
It's like, geez. So yeah, I think he has to go through it a couple times and then feel bad, and then he's brought back into it. Or he gets caught and they break him out, and he's like, crap. So these
Because
guys.
he has seen like one of the head rebellion dudes. So, I mean, that could be it. I think he's gonna get like he's gonna read it and become a true believer. I think
True believer, right?
Yeah.
No, but I was a little like, okay, so is he gonna walk in there and kill them? Because he's very on edge, right? He's like, oh no, I can't trust anybody. But I think you're right. The theme of the entire thing is not to trust anyone. One more question I have for you.
Sure.
Did you? Again, I asked you. Did you see the South Asian lady surviving?
I don't know. No. Well, I thought she might survive. I thought the blonde lady was donezo. Like, I thought that lady, like, of all of them, if I was going to put a bet, I would have thought she was the one that most likely died.
Right. Because
I also assumed that Andor was going to stay with the rebellion at the end of this rather than quit. So if they're going to have him quit, it makes sense that, like, the one person who's hooked into the rebellion leadership, when you need him, like, to be in the rebellion later, she needs to be alive, right? To be the connecting tissue for him when he does become part of the rebellion, right?
Right.
Because she can vouch for him. It's like, yeah, he did what we wanted him to.
Yeah. Now, what do you think happens to the South Asian lady?
She escapes. I think she just escapes.
Okay.
Like, why would they suspect her at all, right?
Right.
I mean, she might maybe she will get captured. Now, I mean, that could be a storyline, like the South Asian lady gets captured and her girlfriend has to go rescue her. And girlfriend by implication, by the way, like Gravity Falls style. Like girlfriend by implication. They're roommates, very close friends. Like
she took her hand, man.
They like, yeah, okay.
And it wasn't just it was like a very like, like.
Yeah, I mean, you could just. But if it was straight people, Mo, what would they have done? Like,
oh, they would have kissed. What? They would have kissed. Stupid, useless. Like, seriously, no. Straight people be kissing at the dumbest times. I'm watching Aquaman, and like, there's like stuff blowing up around them, and they're making out, like full blown make out. I'm like, huh? Fight, win, and then make out.
No. They have the teenager logic.
True. No, but and then we got a brief scene of Mon Mothma, who got interrupted by the news. That was kind of tough.
Well, it was a lot. They did a lot of work in that scene, though. Like there was nobody there, even before the scandal, right? And which again shows you that like there's a lot of, I think, like very subtle world building going on in that scene.
Yes.
So
yes, and then we got a brief scene with I forget his name.
Luthien, I think.
Luthien, yes. He just walks back into his back room to cackle. No, but they stole 80 million credits from the. Oh no, I know for a fact the Republic, and it's the Republic now, right?
It's the Empire now, but it was the Republic.
Okay. Yeah, I know they're like, oof. They're not going to take this line down. Obviously, they're not going to take this line down because the commander calls in everybody. Tell your family.
Yeah.
Tell your loved ones.
It's all we're doing.
Yeah, you're done. You're not going home. And now I feel like this is where we tie in. This is when she brings her evidence back up again. It's like, see, this is what we were waiting for. This is the bigger thread. They were taking little things and no one noticed, and now they've done it. And
they stole a whole bunch of money.
And she's like, I told you. So it's going to be 100%. I told you. You should have let me investigate this. Probably would have been able to stop it, blah, blah, blah. And she's definitely going after Andor.
So the question I have for you, Mo, is at this point now, the only characters that need to survive are Andor and Mon Mothma.
Mhm.
So do you think all the other rebels on the show? Oh, and Saul Guerrero when he shows
Yeah,
up,
I was like, yeah, Saul Guerrero is on the show, so yeah, definitely
and
everyone is
Bale is supposed to show up at some point too. But like, but of the characters that are like
everyone
on
is
the
not.
poster, right? So the poster is Andor, Mon Mothma, Cop Man, Luthien, and is that the South Asian lady from this episode?
Could be.
Let me look at the Andor poster.
Is it the one I have behind my head?
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
No, that's not her. That's a different lady,
It's a different lady.
I
Okay.
think.
No, she's on there. She's with the
This one
blonde
right
person,
here?
with the blonde lady.
Is it? Are you looking at a different poster? Or are you looking at this one right
No,
here?
I'm looking at the full version of the poster. So the
Okay.
full version of the poster has blonde leader lady, her girlfriend, Luthien's sidekick,
Clarification.
Saul Guerrera, evil lady, Luthien, whoever this lady on the left is,
Dang.
Mon
No.
Mothma,
3
and Cop
people.
Man and him.
Andor, Mon
So
Mothma, Saul Guerrero. That's it.
that's it. Do you think they're
That's it.
all otherwise dead?
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking at the end of the series, right? 2 seasons. So they're if we're losing people, we're not losing everyone on this poster until the second season.
I think they could easily have Luthien like die in this season.
Yeah. Because something has to really, really anchor Andor.
And Cador.
Right. Because I was getting ready to say anchor Andor.
I mean, anchor Andor. That's hard to
Right.
say. It's hard to say.
It is. Something has to definitely anchor Andor to the rebellion. Yes, he's gotten the book, and I think one more thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, the question is like, what do you think is the next thing, right? Like, they've said that there's some time jumps in this show. So do you think we get another time jump? Or
maybe. At this point, he's going to be spending his credits.
But he doesn't have that many credits. Like compared to, you got like, didn't he say like 300,000?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot, but that's not 80 million.
I mean, how much? We don't know. We don't know the cost of living.
That's fair. That's fair.
And that's fair. 300 credits could be something.
That's fair. That's fair.
Oh, because I mean, he was really tripping over the 30,000 credits for the Kyber crystal. Like he was really tripping about it, right? So that's a lot of money.
But it isn't just one thing. Like if someone told me this is worth $30,000, I'd be like, shit, that is a lot of money. But in the scheme of things, $30,000, like it's a lot of money, but it's also not a lot of money.
Right? Not a lot of money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Given
like
that
that's like what, like that's just above the poverty line, right? In making
I was about to say, given that they're like poor rebels who've been eating shit.
Yeah.
According to them, 30,000 credits is probably like I'm rich.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a wait and see game. I really liked the first couple. If you had to grade this episode, right?
A-, I think.
I think I'm right there with you.
I wasn't blown away like I was with the third episode of the show.
Yes.
But I still really enjoyed it. Like I know some people were just blown away by this episode, but I was not. Like, and that's not insulting it. Like
no. It was a good episode by all accounts, but I think it's just again because I feel like because there's still so much to come. I'm just not gonna look at it that way. And also, like the third episode was like, "Yo, I'm locked into this series. What you got for me?" This didn't, if we're going by 3-episode arcs, this didn't live up to that standard for me. So
that's fair. I mean, for me, this basically meant, oh, this show's just going to be good. Like, there wasn't a high. Like I felt like the third episode had before, but there wasn't a low. There wasn't like a significant quality drop off. It was just like, okay, the show is good, but it didn't raise itself up to me to higher heights.
Yes. Correct.
Would be the way to put it.
So yeah, I think again we're just starting. We're just beginning. That's how I feel about this episode, and I'm excited to see what comes next. Did we miss anything?
No, I mean this episode. I mean, so what did you think of, like, what's the best way to put this? The extraneous stuff in this episode that like was trying to hammer home the theme.
Oh
Like,
no, they're pieces of shit. The Empire is
well, not
just
even just at the Empire, but like the farmers and their religious ritual
yeah.
and like all that stuff. Like, what did you think of
And
that?
they traded the fur and he threw it in the fire. I loved it. By the way. I was like, yes,
Yeah.
because they don't respect the Empire. No, but I look at everything as like, wow, like you really came to these people's like place, and this is like this was a religious thing. This is a religious thing for them. It's not just for you. It's a spectacle for them. It's like this is part of their religion. They travel great distances to see this. It used to be like I said, at the highest high was like 100K of them.
Yeah.
And now it's barely even 30. Like that's because of what you've done.
Well, there's the Imperial version of the festival, which I thought was like such a good touch.
Right.
In the town, we have the Imperial version of of the and it's like Jesus. Like God, they read a lot about colonialism when they made this show.
Literally. But I think that's one of the things that I enjoyed about the episode is that all of that, was just trying to set up how, like, see, I think this show if there's any little inclination that the Empire is like, this show is going to let you know by all accounts that the Empire is the bad guy. There's no, they're not gonna play that game with you. They're not gonna mince. No, you will understand in each and every episode that the Empire is evil, and I think they hammered it home here. With we built taverns and I think I might have missed or gotten that wrong, but I felt like they're charging them.
Probably,
like
they put these bars on the walk to discourage people from wanting to do it. Yeah, no, there's a lot of really nice touches in the world building overall, and I agree with you 100%. I think that this series is like, you want the rebellion, right? Well, we're going to give you the rebellion and the Empire. And one, that means the Empire is evil. Like, there is nothing good about what they do. Like, nothing. Like, while you have seen some of the Imperial characters be human, right? As you saw with like the Colonel's family here, right? He's a Colonel or Major or whatever. Mm-hmm. They're still not like, okay, yes, he's human, but that doesn't make him good. Right. Which is escape that Star Wars and many other fictions like go to
do it all the time. Yes,
do it all the time. But they're also like how much the Empire just fucks everybody up, right? That there's no straightforward like, oh, we were victims of this oppression, so we're all unified, right? There's that good thing where that former stormtrooper, you'd be like, yeah, that's like Finn, right? But actually, stormtroopers murdered that other woman's family, and she doesn't like him.
Yeah, they drop that line and it's perfect. She's like, yeah, what's his deal? He likes to come at, well, yeah, he used to be ex-stormtrooper. And right as you're getting to that, oh my God, like, I know this character, right? Right as you're getting there. Oh yeah, by the way, stormtroopers murdered her family. You're like,
It's like,
yes. So I love that they're not mixing it up for us. We're getting what we're supposed to get with everything and all these characters. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting it basically like a PG-13 version of like what is colonialism, which I think it because like if you watch like what's the closest analog to that? It would be something like what was that show with Claire Danes that's escaping me?
Homeland,
yeah, like those kind of shows, right? Like they're not PG-13, right? This is, right? So it manages to have like really hard-hitting political messages without like, or the Americans, right? Which is also a thing about imperialism, but Americans barely PG-13. It just doesn't have nudity, right? Like that's the only thing. And this, I think, does a good job of giving you really thematic depth while not like grossing you out not because a lot of things that happen in this are gross. But it's not like blood everywhere and like people saying fuck all the time and
they're not showing you. They're not saying no. They killed her family and then flashback. They're not doing that. They're not showing. No, they're not showing babies die, but you just can assume that they're killing younglings. Like, I mean, the Anakin did kill younglings. Like I know I know the Empire kills babies. Like
Yeah.
I don't have to see it. I can tell. Right. And so I like that this show is not shying away from like the dark underbelly of the Empire. They're showing you how evil they are without like necessarily like showing it to you. And what I'm looking forward to, I can't believe I'm saying this. What I'm looking forward to is how far they're gonna go, because now we have to see like where the Empire's investigation, all of that. We have to see that, right? Are they gonna go into these little towns and are they gonna tear things up? Are they gonna
They almost certainly are, man. Like,
right? Are they gonna pull people out of their houses? Are they gonna start shooting people in the middle of the street?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh god.
I would not be surprised if the South Asian lady ends up getting captured. That could be the storyline for the
Right.
next set of episodes.
Right.
But they could also do a time skip. We don't know. I don't think they will though, because they kind of set it up that like we need to see what the Imperial investigation is going to be like.
Right. They did that.
And they also didn't give us an answer of what the cop is going to do. So it doesn't make a sense necessarily for them to do a time jump right away, but I could be wrong.
Right. Right. Unless they jump into the middle of the like we're in the heart of the investigation. And so just to like skip all the bloody town pulling and killing, right? just
like firebombing and all
right,
that.
because
Yeah.
I mean Mandalorian showed us firebombing.
Did.
Oh man. But yeah, thank you again, Roy, for
Always.
the time. I mean, this was supposed to be done on Wednesday,
Yeah.
today, so we got a couple more to go. So we
have a lot more to go, my friend. Again, this goes to Christmas, basically.
Right. I forgot. I always forget, and I feel like I'm going to ask you next week if we're going.
How many episodes there are? And
right. But no, thank you so much. Do not resist. Hit that like and subscribe button, and we will see you next week on another episode of Star Wars Andor.